Alright, having covered a sizable number of chapters from Flamingo, I move on to section B of the question paper, English Core Class 12. And section B, the very first question has a large number of choices and it carries 4 marks, and the word limit for this particular question is 50. So by way of first question, you have that is, questions can be framed on the question. You may be asked a formal invitation, an informal invitation, a formal reply, an informal reply. The questions may be based on notices, advertisements and posters. So these are these many choices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 choices in all, and out of these 7 choices, the question paper, the board question paper, will have any 2 of them, of these, and you will be attempting any one. And the word limit is an issue here. It has to be in all circumstances stuck to. Word limit is 50. Otherwise, CBSE may penalize you on the count of exceeding the word limit. So we begin with invitations, and invitations, as you see, are of 2 kinds: formal and informal. Formal and informal. And informal. Now, right at the outset, you must understand one very important thing. Section B, or in class 12, there is no informal letter that is prescribed. Informal letters are not in the syllabus. However, there may be a question in the question paper which resembles an informal letter. Now, how to find out what actually it is? It will, if a question resembles an informal letter, it is not an informal letter, it will be an informal invitation or a reply. Either it will be an informal invitation, or an informal reply. The reason is, an informal invitation or an informal reply has the same format as that of an informal letter. However, there are differences which we discuss in the course of time. So there is a catch. You must be aware of that. A question in section B may resemble an informal letter, but it will not be an informal letter. It is actually either an informal invitation or an informal reply. And there are differences between an informal invitation or an informal reply and an informal letter. There are 3 main important differences between the 2. We'll discuss those differences in the course of time. However, we begin with a formal invitation and then we move on to an informal invitation or a formal reply, as the case is. Now, a formal invitation are found in 2 formats. Are found in 2 formats. In modern day English, they are found in 2 formats: in the form of a formal letter, in the form of a letter. And the other format is called a postcard format. Now, really speaking, formal invitation is always written in the form of a postcard format. The postcard format is what actually is a formal invitation. The kind of invitations that you receive for wedding ceremonies, for important functions in schools, for annual sports day, for Founders Day, the kind of invitations that your parents receive is done up in a postcard format. Now, the format, I believe, is not a problem at all, because actually it basically boils down to the layout of information, layout of the information. layout of the information. And information is centrally aligned. If you recall any of the arrangement, the way the information is laid out in a wedding card, it is always centrally aligned, and that presents an appealing, a fascinating appeal, a view that is appealing. The information is centrally aligned, and most important thing before we proceed any further, the letters R, S, V, P happens to be an essential part of it, or an intrinsic part of a formal reply, of a formal invitation. Sorry, if it is a formal invitation, it will carry these letters in capital case, R, S, V, P, which actually is a shortened or an abbreviation of, shortened form or an abbreviation of what you call a phrase in French, which actually means in English, reply if you please. Reply if you please. And we rarely reply to a formal invitations. However, there are formal replies as well, and informal replies as well. So in addition to the information being centrally aligned and a formal invitation carrying RSVP in capital case, the other important thing is that it carries all important pieces of information in different lines. All important pieces of information are arranged, are worded, are laid out in different lines. Essentially, it is very important. And answers to all the questions as to what has happened, where it is going to happen, and when it is going to happen are mentioned.